Go live. Going live. We're live. I think this means this works. Hold on. Okay. I can see. Man, I got to tell you, if you guys can see me, thank you for joining me. But everything here looks 100% different than it used to look. Stream. So what? Hey, thanks for joining me for the wow, it seems like an eternity since we last live streamed. And you can definitely so I feel like an older person that has not yet used technology in a while, and I'm like, what is going on? Because I can't understand what's happening. I'm telling you, this whole YouTube thing looks totally different now. So what's up, everybody? Hey, I see Doc Murdoch out there, Michael Shaw, Cardosa, Mad Salt, Salmon, Yusuf, Long, James, Harry, Eddie, Yusuf, Roma. Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. It's been, man, it has been a hot minute since we've done a live stream, so here we are. What I wanted to do today is Safe Solvent, Brad. Safe, I have a live, I actually have that set up already, but then I never do anything with it. So I'm kind of lazy when it comes to live streaming. Alexander, Duke, Saruba, thanks for joining us. So yeah, we're just gonna hang out. I'm gonna try to answer everybody's questions. Max, thanks for joining. Tej, One Wheel, two rule them all. Hey, how you doing? So I'm gonna try to answer everybody's questions if you have any. I've been doing YouTube now for over 4 years. I cannot believe that it's been over 4 years now. Can you see it? I can kind of see it. The crow's feet, like the age, I can definitely start seeing that it's taking its toll. So it has now been 4 years, and it's been a wild ride. So James, hey, thanks for joining us for the very first live stream. Well, it may be your first to join us, but it's also been like the first we've done in. Seriously, when's the last time? We have streamed here before, because we used to have like it set up where Kelly and I would stream, and it was set up pointing that way. But now we're at like my computer editing station, so it's this way. So we're working on it right now. But yeah, wow, it's been crazy. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. No, Doc, unfortunately, I believe she's asleep because I texted her saying, hey, I was going to live stream. Are you going to watch? And I think she's asleep. So who knows? Today we are drinking Coca-Cola Zero because the store was out of Diet Coke. And we're drinking because I'm getting older and getting boring. I'm drinking Diet Ginger Ale. I am, yes, Teddy, I am recording in a basement right now. This is actually, for those that don't know, I did recently purchase a house, but we purchased the house that we're renting. So if you've ever moved before, this has been the best time to ever move, or the best house purchase we've ever made. This is the second house we purchased because we didn't have to move anywhere. I'm in the exact same place that I've been, so it's been wonderful. Doc, I do remember when I was under 50,000 subscribers. It's been a wild time. Okay. I'm going to try to get through, so everybody that's commenting, keep commenting. We're going to go from the top. I'm going to try to go to the bottom. Hold, I can unpin this comment now. How do I unpin it? And yes, so I saw somebody ask if we're on an M1 Mac. We're actually doing this on my M1 MacBook Pro 13 right now, which is pretty wild to me. I was going to set up my PC to do all of this, but then I said, you know what? Let's put it to the test. So yeah, we are on the M1 MacBook Pro 13. So let's see here. Max, hi Gary, so excited. How are you doing? I am doing fantastic. Let's have some caffeine. I'll be doing a little bit better. We talked about, yep, I'm on the MacBook. We talked about the first time. Best Mac for student photographer. I'm not a student, nor am I a photographer, but I really like the new M1 MacBooks if you haven't been able to, whoa. Oh, hey, I just got the notification that I'm live. Thank you for being loud, YouTube. Let's mute that. Yes, I really like all of the MacBooks. I don't know that you can get one that's bad, so I would say get the one that meets, how much storage do you need, how much RAM do you need, and go from there. Streaming from the Philippines. I am not. I'm streaming from Maryland. What's up? Hi from Brazil. Hey, thanks. Whoop, whoop. What MacBook is good for accountants? Any MacBook. I mean, anything that can manage those very tough tasks of like Excel or notes. No, not notes. Numbers. Okay, so full disclosure to everybody. It's 8 p.m. This is Gary's normal bedtime, so that's why Gary needs to pick me up. Why am I talking to the third person? Man, makes you feel weird. David, I have a question. What do you do to make money as a full-time job? I make PowerPoint slides for a full-time job. You may think to yourself, if you're in college or you're doing some kind of student thing, I'm going to grow up someday and do exciting new things. And what you end up doing when you have a family is you end up making a lot of PowerPoint slides. So I make PowerPoint slides and I approve other people's PowerPoint slides. And I make some Excel sheets from time to time when I'm feeling froggy. When I'm feeling like I want to be really exciting, I make Excel sheets. Will, love your videos. Thanks so much. Ooh, Max, I have an eye infection, so that gets close to home. No, I'm not. That's me getting older. That's not an eye infection. That's what happens when people get older. That's not an infection. Doc, yeah, I do remember being under 50,000 subscribers. Like, I got to tell you, being almost at 300,000 subscribers is something that, I mean, I guess I assumed that someday it would happen, right? Like, you make videos long enough, eventually one person watches each video. Eventually, like, through the, like, numbers and math, I assumed at some point, if I did this for, like, 20 years, eventually we'd hit 300,000 subscribers. Never did I imagine that it would happen so quickly. Like, it's been this, thanks to everybody that watches, because this has been this has been a wild ride over the last 4 years. So this was the first, I had some pre-canned questions just that I assumed people would ask. So the first question was, like, how did I get into YouTube? I get asked this a lot. So not old timers, but long-time viewers will know that I started watching YouTube I started making YouTube channels. I've been watching YouTube since it started. But there was a channel that I was watching. They made a 3D printer video, and I sat down and I said to myself, you know what? I could do that. That's actually where, if you're watching, you're like, what is the guy talking about? If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. So the whole purpose of The Everyday Dad originally was to be like, I'd go through different hobbies. So I'd go through a bunch of different hobbies and then I'd learn how to do them. And then we'd kind of like learn together how to do the hobbies. And so that was the, if I can figure it out, you can figure it out thing. But then it kind of just came to be my catchphrase because for a while there, what I considered the point of The Everyday Dad was we've always done products of some kind, but I considered it to be a way to, I don't know, kind of show that you could do stuff not the right way and still be successful. So I shoot in a frame rate that you're not supposed to shoot in. I use cameras in ways you're not supposed to use them. I try to be, I try to march to the beat of my own drummer. I don't really follow the advice of any of the YouTube experts. And it was trying to show that, like, if I could do it, you could do it, and then show you that you could do it by me doing it. Now I just say it because it's the catchphrase. And when I think I forgot to say it like once a year ago, comments were like, you didn't say it, you didn't say it, you didn't say it. So that's where it came from. But yeah, I just decided one day, hey, I could make this YouTube video. And so I did. And then nobody's stopped me yet. My wife tried. We did a span where I vlogged for 48 days straight once. I think it was 48. I vlogged for like a lot of days straight once, and it was the worst experience of my life. I would never, if you're looking to get into YouTube and you're like, I should do daily vlogging, you should not do daily vlogging. You should not do that at all. That was the worst YouTube experience I've ever had. But yeah, so I started and I just haven't stopped yet. Hold on, I know I'm falling behind on the comments. I have a tendency to ramble. I have a tendency to talk a lot, which is why I'm a YouTuber, I guess. SGD, $5. Thank you so much. Incredible pivot from cameras to Mac and iPads. The demographics definitely larger and your channel exploded. Well, thanks. I mean, I've actually, if you look at the history of the channel, I've had like 5 things I've talked about. I started off talking about 3D printers. I talked about motorcycles. I talked about drones, cameras. Now we're on Macs. I make videos about things that interest me or things that I use in my day-to-day life. It's not like I know it's hard to look at the channel and be like, hey man, you're not of course you're an Apple channel. That's all you talk about. It's just that Apple happens to be the things that I personally use and the things that get me the most excited. Like Apple, the M1 Max have shattered my brain, and like I've got a Windows laptop that I'm checking out right now with the new Ryzen processor, the new RTX graphics card, and that's like the only thing from Windows that I'm excited about. But like, so we'll talk about that, but it's just whatever I'm feeling like talking about. I don't feel constrained by anything. It's just cameras are kind of, and I know I've got a lot of camera people that are probably watching right now, so I apologize, but cameras, they're all kind of, not that they're all samey. There are exciting things happening in the camera space, but I'm still using, this is my GH5. I figured a question would be, what camera do I use? I use the Lumix GH5. I've been using this for years at this point now. It's great. It's like a 4-year-old camera. It's almost as old as the channel. That's too good. I should have had a bit for that. That's where you can tell I'm not a real professional YouTuber. I didn't have a bit prepared for it. But yeah, so we obviously do not talk about cameras much anymore. Okay, I'm gonna hold on. And I hate it when it does that. So if you've ever done the YouTube live streaming, sometimes it like glitches the chat, and now I don't remember where I was. So we're just gonna pick a spot. Where were we? First time here too? Well, thank you everybody. If this is your first time joining us for a live stream, thank you. We used to do this pretty regularly, but we haven't done it, in a while because it's hard to. I have a very tenacious attitude. Like if I think I'm gonna do something, I have to do it. But the problem was when we were doing these live streams, weekly, it was taking up our entire Saturday just to prepare for them and plan for them and get everything set up. So we kind of put the kibosh on it because it was just taking up so much time that we moved from it. So drop the chalupa. You've worked so hard. Well deserved. Well deserved. Well deserved. Well deserved. Thank you very much. I appreciate. Anthony, do I think a white iPad is more practical than a black? I don't know. I just buy whatever's in stock. Here's my iPad. This is my iPad Pro. I don't know why it was over here. Actually, I haven't been using this recently, but it was sitting right here next to the computer. I think this is because I was using this to control the camera a little bit ago. Where we just got done parking the rig. Well, thanks, Brad, for joining us. Getting icy out in Wisconsin. Yeah, it is definitely. It's supposed to be snowing. Like, we are supposed to get some serious snow over the next couple of days, which is going to be crazy. Pilot Ryan, congrats about the Canon XA50 because of you. Wow, that was such a good camera. One of the things that I miss about cameras is getting those ones that are like off the beaten path where the camcorders, it's just so impressive to me how much they're able to fit into camcorders, but nobody uses them because this is a full frame camera right now. And if you don't get that YouTube look, nobody wants it, right? But that's awesome that you enjoy it. Where are we at? Pay Bum Vlogs, congratulations. Well, thank you so much. Salmon Media, yeah, we don't have Diet Coke because they were sold out at the store today, but we do have a Coca-Cola product that has no sugar. I don't like this as much. I do not like this as much. Oscar, recommendations for someone who wants to start a YouTube channel? Just start doing it. Whatever you want to talk about, just start making videos. Like, that's the only way you're going to be able to make it. The way you're going to be able to do it and then stick with it is you just got to start making them. Don't buy anything. Just use your cell phone as a camera. I started off with my cell phone as a camera and just figure out if you even like it or not. I've been getting a lot of people that, people that know me personally have been reaching out to me recently and asking like, hey, how can I start my YouTube channel? Stuff like that. Look, I buy a lot of gear for the channel, so believe me, this is not me. Maybe it's a little bit of do as I say, not as I do. But I try to tell people, hey, don't buy anything. Just use your phone to start off with because you don't even know. Like, you could it's just like diets, or it's like getting, like me with my woodworking stuff. I got so excited. I bought all this woodworking stuff, and then I haven't used it yet, right? So you want to make sure that you even like what you're doing before you start investing in it, or just get to it. Just get to it. I think we've asked the iPad question quite a bit. Blue flavor of Red Bull. That's brave. I'm not a big Red Bull person. I have to cut myself back from energy drinks. I have a problem with energy drinks, apparently. Cardosa, I do still have the M1 Mini. I don't use it as much now. I've been using the MacBook Pro 13 for everything. The reason I use the MacBook Pro 13 is my rationale is if I do have to travel. I haven't been traveling, thanks to COVID. But if I do have to travel, it now has all of the same files. Everything's ready to go. All I have to do is grab it and unplug it from the dock, and it's ready to go. So that was my I was using the M1 Mac Mini because I like that it has both you can get the external monitor through Thunderbolt 3 and the HDMI, but I only use one monitor anyway, so it's, it's not a big deal. Brad Fogel, $9.99. Let's kick this off. All right, so live streaming takes up a bit of time. So how about this? What total amount of money Super Chats would take to bring these back to monthly at least? I don't know. This is actually kind of an experiment, Brad, to see, because one of the things that scares me is doing things differently than what YouTube expects me to do normally. So if this, it's not necessarily about the super chats, though I do appreciate it. And if people want to super chat, that is awesome. Believe me, don't let me stop you from super chatting if you want to. But it's more about like, if I do this, and then it used to be where YouTube would kind of like punish you for streaming on a channel that wasn't built on streaming. So I wanted to see if that's still the case, and if we can just like treat this as its own thing, then maybe we'll start doing it, you know, more often. But we'll see. Again, I have if I start on a scheduled thing, it's got like just like 3 videos a week. I do 3 videos a week, and you know, got to do it. So we'll see. We'll see. I make no promises. This is, I'll give you the. We'll see. That's what 8-year-old when he's like, "Hey, can we do this?" I'm like, "Buddy, we'll see." That's the I haven't made a decision yet answer. Josh, am I getting snow on Monday? I believe I'm about to. Antonio, hello from an M1 MacBook in Spain. Well, thank you. Goldie, the camera looks amazing, bro. Well, thanks. This is the Lumix S5. The audio's with the DMW XLR1 plugged into the top of it. I'm a very big fan of Lumix cameras, obviously. They just work for me a lot. We're doing manual focus because they now have this Lumix Tether app that you can download on your computer and then fully control the camera, so we can focus on the background if we want to. There we go. Focus on the... Nope. I guess it's not going to... Okay, let's focus back on me. Okay, it should have focused on the background, but it was so excited to talk to me. But yeah, no, thank you. I'm a very big fan of those cameras. Turbo, I just got a HomePod Mini and can't even do personal requests. I don't know. I have a HomePod Mini. I bought one of them. I just don't like it. I don't know. It was doing something where I was just sitting down. I didn't ask it to play music. I didn't pair it to anything, and it just started playing on its own. So I decided I don't need creepy tech in my house right now. I'm sure it works perfectly well for plenty of people, but I just don't really ever listen to... If I'm listening to music, I just use my headphones that are plugged into, like... Well, they're not... These are probably dead. I don't even... These are the Sony XM3s, right? Over... I don't really ever... If I'm listening to music, I'm probably running, and then I've just got my AirPods Pro. So, yeah. I don't know. Paul Langan, love my M1 Mini. Happy ordered 16 gigabyte unified memory, 1 terabyte SSD. Any new things you have noticed since the last YouTube video on the M1 Mini? I haven't had any issues with mine. I know like a lot of people that I follow and a lot of people that I talk to have had Bluetooth issues. I haven't had any, thankfully, but that would be the one thing that I would pay attention to. Pod Wabbit, greetings from Vegas. Thank you. Max Blit. Oh, the third person. Wow, I am so far behind if we're talking about the third person. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to skip ahead. I apologize to everybody. Tech Gear Fun, I see you. We're going to skip down a little bit so that we can actually get to what people are talking about. I apologize. But, you know, we got to get to what people are talking about. Audio talking like 3 times? Hold on, let me... Gear Fun, I see you. We're going to skip... I'm not hearing it, so hopefully... that is fixed when everybody gets to it. Scott Stevens, awesome, refreshing content watching from England. Well, thanks so much. And why did that not pop up when it was there? I don't know. Hopefully the audio, if it has been fixed, you should go back and check is the audio really, can somebody like, let me know if the audio is actually bad, because what I can hear over here is, it seems to be working perfectly fine, but if you guys are hearing echoes or something, let me know. Because there shouldn't be echoing. It's just me sitting in a basement. Tech Geek, Jaheim, right. Celebrity Times, Joffrey. How about gun gear? It's not really my jam. Doing crappy tech in my house. I buy a lot of stuff. That's why, like, any gear that you see on the channel is something that I'm just gonna use, because I don't have time to go out specifically and use certain gear, so I just end up using everything here. Everything that we talk about here. Audio messes up every few minutes. Okay, well, we might have to, maybe if we do this in the future, we'll just end up using maybe an audio recorder, because we have, like I said, the audio is going through the camera. Maybe that's causing some weird things. Charles, you just started watching over the summer. Well, hey, I really appreciate it. Mark Attardo, holy cow, man. Hey, thanks for joining us. Okay, so every 2 minutes it jumps track. All right, well, maybe that's a YouTube thing. Again, this is a weird, like YouTube's totally changed up its thing since the last time we did this. I mean, it looks a lot like Facebook live streaming. James W., I don't know what SGD is, but love your video. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You guys are the best. Alexander, what do I think about the Sony Alpha 1? Looks like an amazing camera. Not something that I would buy. If I'm going to spend $6,500 on a camera, I'm probably going to get the FX6 or maybe the Canon C70. But that's one of the problems I'm having right now is I very much, like I look at cinema cameras every single day. And I've had cinema cameras in here. I've had the FX9, C200, some of the Blackmagics. And anytime we have like a cinema camera in here, I always end up just not liking it. Not that it's bad. It's just that it never does. So I just sit at a table and I talk about, what I like about certain pieces of technology. And it has not yet, the GH5 just does everything I've wanted out of it. So it's right. A year ago so I'm trying out the S1H again. B&H Photos let me borrow it. Brad, oh hey, thanks Brad for another $9.99. Audio sounds good. I experienced a couple streams. Audio stutter, maybe YouTube not providing enough bandwidth. Hint that maybe you got to stream more to YouTube to dedicate bandwidth. Yeah, the problem's going to be for me is I do all of this. So everything you see, the audio, me with my monitor, everything is currently going through one Thunderbolt 3 port. I've got the Ethernet cable, the cam link, I've got a hard drive plugged in there just because. So everything's going through one Thunderbolt 3 port. So maybe that's one of the problems we're running into. But yeah, maybe I've got to maybe I should have used so lesson learned, Gary, don't be stubborn. Just use the PC next time. Okay. I saw a question that I was going to answer. His own fool, you were expensive to subscribe to. Thanks to you, I bought the M1 Mini and MacBook Air. You're telling me I spend so much money to do this. I spend a lot of money on all this. So one of the things that, one of the benefits of doing this as a hobby and not as a full-time job is basically all of the money I make here, it goes right back into the channel, whether I'm buying laptops to talk about, or I'm buying cameras to make the video look a little better, or I just bought all these sound blankets and stuff so we could stream a little bit. So that's one of the benefits of that is all of the money gets just reinvested back into what everybody gets to see. Now in fairness, we paid off our car, my wife's car, a couple of days ago, and we had to pay a down payment on the house, which YouTube helped with. So it didn't, I guess 100% of it doesn't go back, but most of it goes back, which has been great. This has been, so just I'm not going to get emotional. This has been amazing. I cannot even begin to describe how amazing this journey has been. The last 4 years has been wild. I first started this out just because, and there was never a plan behind it. It was just, hey, let's make a YouTube channel because why not? And now it's been 4 years. I have the huge brands with Apple, Sony sometimes, Lumix. I've had other just major brands that I've worked with, and it's been you could not I cannot believe where this has gone. This is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life was starting that YouTube channel. And maybe we used to do a thing where every now and again we would watch some of my original videos just so we could kind of, laugh at Gary. Because look, my original videos are terrible. I think the oldest one of my videos you can find is where I was talking about the Sony FDR X3000, which is an action camera from way back in the day. And I think that's still around, but even that was after I'd progressed a little bit. My original videos are awful. That's why they're hidden and you can't see them. But yeah, it's been a phenomenal, phenomenal journey. Great decision. The community has been incredible. One of the things that people get scared of is all the negativity and all the bad comments you get. And yeah, I get some of those. Nobody's perfect. I'm certainly not perfect. And my opinions, because this is basically an opinion-based technology channel, is my opinions, I'm sure, do not necessarily align with everybody's, so there will be grumpy people out there. But it's been so good. Like, I don't have to deal with a lot of the, like, we, stick to what we like to talk about, so it's just been great. I've loved so much about it. It's been, I could say that. Like, I could just keep saying that over and over again because it has been amazing. I've loved every second of it. Tyler Edwards, I love cinema cameras. I love cinema cameras. If I could just afford to have all of the cinema cameras, I would just own all the cinema cameras just to have them. I like cameras. Sometimes, I'm a weirdo. I get it. I'm a YouTuber, which already puts me on like a weird, like there's a spectrum. You make YouTube videos. That means you're kind of probably a little weird to begin with. Sometimes I'll just like hang out and I'll mess with the dials on the cameras and like push the buttons. I don't know. I don't get a chance to like, it's not a toy, right? I can't play a video game on it. But sometimes I just mess around with it, like the little switches and the dials. Pretty big fan. Pretty big. And lighting. I do like the lighting. This lighting is not my preferred method. If we were going to do this more often or more regularly, we would need to set up a better lighting solution. This is just like a very, very cheap, flexible panel that I've got on like a boom arm. And it's not the best, but it works for today, I guess. The sound just did the stuttering thing again, so hopefully it'll stop. Sounded like skipping vinyl. Great videos, man. Well, thanks so much, Pratik. What was my job before YouTube? I make PowerPoint slides. FZ2500 variable ND filters. I do like. Right. I guess it's. We'll have to. I apologize. We'll have to live with the skipping for now. Here, hold on. I'm gonna. If you hear an echo, it's because I'm listening. I do like. Right. Yeah. I can't tell if that's just me being bad at talking or if it's actually skipping. What is AMA? It means ask me anything. What car does my wife have? She has a Subaru something. I'm not much of a car person. I know that I have, but see, here's the thing. Like, I just recently had to re-register my truck, and I thought I had a 2017 Nissan Frontier, but I actually have a 2015 Nissan Frontier because I do not pay attention to cars at all. How lucky do you have to be to win my iPhone 12 Pro? I'm not giving away a phone. So you'd have to be very lucky for my phone to just like fall out. I don't know. It just like falls through the screen. That'd be a thing to see. Brad Fogle 1499. Well, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. The audio's hiccuping every couple of minutes. All right. So now we've enjoyed the new bold top-down thumbnails you've been using versus normal top-down. How does it seem to work for click-through? So I have been working like the new thumbnails it's still the same like shot I've been doing. I just cut the product out of it and then I put like a regular laptop background on it and then see, and it's working pretty well. But again, it's hard to make a definitive statement over just a couple of videos because I did take those videos and they're kind of like made to be inflammatory. So maybe that's the reason that it's getting a higher click-through rate, but it has been getting a better click-through rate recently. What is my favorite color? What is my favorite color? I like blue, but that's kind of boring, right? I like blue, which is weird because I graduated from Ohio State, which is red. I've got red hats everywhere. Yeah, I think so. What type of Coke is this? This is a Coke Zero Sugar. Zero Sugar. Marketardo. Cameras are Gary's fidget spinner. That's basically it. That is basically exactly what it is. Alwyn, I want to start YouTube to make cover songs, but I'm scared of posting my face. Any advice? I've always posted my face, but again, I hide behind a pseudonym, so it's easier for me. Oscar Rodriguez, $5. Keep it up, man. Has YouTube affected your work at all? Nah. At first, okay, is Canon M50 2021 or what camera sub 1000 would I recommend? I would recommend if you're looking for under 1000, I'd probably say the Sony A6100 because the E-mount is very flexible. Has YouTube affected your work at all? It hasn't affected my work. But see, here's the thing about YouTube. When you first start a YouTube channel, well, at least for me, it was kind of embarrassing, right? Like people, when I started in 2017, that was the daily vlogging thing. So people were like, oh, you want to make videos of your life so you can be famous and blah, 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 blah. And it was so I just kind of like kept it to myself. I didn't really share it with anybody. But then there's a certain point where you pass over like a certain level of success, and it goes from you have a YouTube channel to you have a YouTube channel. How do you do that? So now it's people will find at work, they'll be like, you have a YouTube channel, or they'll stare at me and they'll be like, where do I know you from? I'm like, oh, it's the YouTube channel. So it hasn't affected my work because I do I have to do like I give my boss a heads up just saying, hey, this is out there, so that no clients are like weirded out. Space Sec25. Elon responded to a video I made on the M1P. Thanks, Gary. Well, you're welcome. I mean, I didn't get him to respond to it, but that's awesome that he was able to respond to a video of yours. M1 MacBook Air, 16 gigabyte unified, 1 terabyte storage for school. That's what I mean. That's basically the version that I have for the MacBook Pro. The MacBook Air is so good. It's so good. David, are the M1 Apple Macs cheaper because they're not paying Intel and passing the savings on to the consumer? No, they're cheaper. They're not cheaper. They're the same price that the other ones used to be. So I would say that they're pretty reasonable. I mean, they can't raise the price too much because then it's like, well, why would I buy this when your next thing up there is like right there? So I think Apple does a really good job of, they've said, hey, this is the market. These are the markets we're going to segment and we're going to target. You know, we've got this $ is for our entry-level Ultrabook, which is the MacBook Air. This $ is the MacBook Pro 13. And they're able to develop the products and then, sell you the products in that window, which I think is impressive that they were able to totally redesign and redevelop their own processors and then sell you the computer for the exact same amount as their last year's model. I think that's incredible. I don't know. This is just assumptions of mine. I'm a project manager as my day-to-day life. And if I could get my, budget on track that well, that's incredible. Agent Gary, hello from Russia. Well, thanks so much. Brandon, would I recommend the Dell XPS 159500 with the 10875H or the Apple MacBook Pro M1? I mean, if you need stuff done on Windows, I would say obviously get the Dell XPS. I did not have the Dell XPS 15 with the 10875. I'm not sure. I mean, that 10875 is a hot running processor. I would just check and see how it handles, like check out other people's content or reviews on it, just to make sure that the processor can handle it. I really like the XPS 15. Mine it was right here. I let my son use it for a while because he needed something for school. But that's been amazing. I've really enjoyed. That's one of my favorite Windows laptops ever. But the Apple MacBook Pro M1 is, I do all of my work. All of my YouTube stuff goes through that laptop. It's been, Jonathan just posted darn video. I post videos all the time. Pod Wabbit, dude, OSU grad. Yep, I graduated in 2007. 2007. I am a little bit older. Nikhil, I don't know. Did I pronounce it correctly? Valerie, why do I always have a hat on? That's a good question. So I always have a hat on because when I started YouTube, I did not have a hat on. But one day, I make a video today. So what we need to do, I look kind of gross. I needed to do my hair. And the second I thought to myself, I need to do my hair, I was like, nope, we're nipping that in the bud right now. All we will do from now on is we will wear a hat. So that's why I wear a hat all the time, just so I don't have to ever mess with my hair, which has been great because with COVID and not being able to go to the barber, I've just been having my wife shave my head. So it keeps me from looking too weird on that. Mike Walters, are you going to sell, hold on, Mike Walters, are you going to sell sweaters and t-shirts with the text? I really want to do merch, but I don't like this logo all that much. It was a logo that I got on Fiverr like 4 years ago. So I would very much, one of the things that I would like to do in 2021 is get a logo or get some kind of merch that's good to get out there. I don't want to just like slap this on a cheap t-shirt and sell it to people, because I think that's kind of lazy. So it is something that merch is something that I would very much like to do. I just want to be able to do it right because I don't want people to waste money. And I have myself purchased some YouTuber merch in the past, and it is great. It's a great way to support the creators you enjoy because you want to support them, and you get your merch, t-shirt, coffee cup, something. But right now, I don't have value to add to that. So I would like to, but I don't have value right now. Hold on, we got some super chats. Heroes TV, big fan of yours from Japan. YouTube Shorts gain subs, so happy. I use A6400, GoPro 9, and Note 20 Ultra for YouTube. Well, congratulations. What is great to grow on YouTube? Just keep doing it. I mean, I don't think there's a magic formula. The magic formula is you just got to keep on keeping on. Like YouTube is a game that does this. Some days you'll be up, some days you'll be down. You just got to keep doing it because you enjoy doing it, because there's peaks and valleys all the time. So if you grow, you got to be, the thing to grow on YouTube is you got to be, like, the content has to be relevant. Like, why should somebody watch whatever you're talking about? Maybe you're the first to talk about something. Maybe you have a unique way of seeing it that nobody else talks about. But that would be my recommendation. Hold on, I got another one. Deyo Arusen. I totally messed up your name. I apologize. Happy 4-year anniversary. Enjoy all your videos. Hope your growth continues on its exponential path. Well, thank you so much. It has been crazy. I cannot believe that we're going to cross 300,000 here pretty soon. Everyday mom, we love you and your kiddo. Thinks you're cool. Well, thanks. I don't know if that's actually everyday mom or everyday wife, as we used to call her, because she does have an account, right? But yeah, kiddo. It's been great. Hold on. Now I just lost my spot in here. Do I prefer, which MacBook we talk, Puget, do you prefer wired or wireless tech? I prefer wireless. Like right now I've got the Logitech MX Master 3 and the Apple Magic Keyboard for, interacting with the computer. So that's what I enjoy. Joshua, you mentioned your motorcycle. What do you ride? I have a Yamaha FZ07. I'm so used to cameras. FZ07. So it was the year before they changed the English or the American version to FZ, because now it's the MT. So I have the 2016 FZ07. And the reason funny story, well, not funny because it sucked, but the reason we moved from drones to cameras, or from motorcycles to drones, is I got in a motorcycle accident. I think that video is privated, but I got if you see my video, I'm not sure if it's still live or not, where it's the DJI, what was it called? It was I don't even remember what the drone was called, but it was one of their original ones that was white and blocky, Phantom. The Phantom 3 drone. You see me limping in that video? That's because I was in a motorcycle accident. Do I have a fridge in my studio? I do not. Tej Tech, what is my average audience retention, and what is a good audience retention? I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. Maybe I'm in a privileged position where I don't really need to. I just make the videos I want to make, and thankfully people keep watching them. Nick, upgrading for iPhone 5S. I'm torn between iPhone SE and iPhone XS. I really like the SE 2020. Oh, audio hiccup. Hooray. We talked about that. Fernando, do I game? I get a little bit, not a lot. I play a video game called RimWorld, which is like a simulation game with some people that crash land on a planet and you got to survive. My son and I'm pointing over here because we built him a custom PC this year, and he and I play a game. We were playing Terraria. We beat Terraria. Now we're playing a game called Deep Rock Galactic, which is incredible. If you want to play a co-op game where you basically get to explore caves, mine some stuff, fight some like alien bug type things, that game is a lot of fun. We did the hat takeoff thing. We talked about the cameras. Love your video. Ben, thank you so much. Kevin, I actually told my sister to buy the M1 Air. I love the M1 Air. Like the M1 Air, their MacBook Air, the M1 version is my favorite computer ever made. I love that thing. Where did my YouTube name come from? I don't know. It just was like, where did the name came from? Just like, who am I? It was more of like, and I get comments a lot saying, well, you don't talk about your family. Why do you call yourself the everyday dad? But it was just like, I'm the everyday dad. Not necessarily the point of the channel was about fatherhood. Because I have had my son on some of the videos, but he had like a Batman mask on because I've always felt uncomfortable having him in the videos. I'm not a big fan of kids being on YouTube channels and in YouTube videos. So he's never been on here. And yeah, it was just to hide behind. All right, Fur Hat, I'm sorry, buddy. You are going to get put in timeout. You saw my hat off for like a second. Smith, shout out to you, man. Philippe, cheers. Well, thank you so much. We talked about wireless tech. What games? We talked about games. Hold on. All right. No more WoW. Yeah, I mean, I play. I was playing WoW, but I was playing WoW, but the new expansion came out, and I was gonna tank a dungeon, and just the way that it's just gotten so bad. It's been tough. It has been tough. Are Apple products edible? No. Hold on. Maybe everyday. Hold on. Is that? Let's call her up and see if that's her or somebody faking to be her. Well, let's find out. We'll get to the bottom of this right now. She's not gonna answer.
Hello?
Hey, we're live right now, but do you know we're live? Are you everyday mom in the chat?
Yes, we are.
Oh, hey, there's the whole family. You just sent me the $5. So you can see everybody there. They are. That was them. Okay. So yes. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So yes. Okay. So everyday mom is my wife and son watching. Luke1234. Thank you for the $1.99. Have I ever thought about quitting YouTube? I have thought about quitting YouTube a couple of times. Absolutely. Like I said, YouTube is a game of this, and sometimes when you're doing this, it really sucks. When you're making videos and you're putting like a lot of work into them, and then you don't get what you, I don't know, maybe this sounds pretentious where you're not getting what you expected or what you think, like, I don't know. This sounds, and I get it. It sounds pretentious, and it sounds like, oh, Gary, you think more highly of yourself than maybe, you should. But it just, when you're down and you put all this work into a video and it doesn't get the views that like you're expecting, and then it just like compounds on itself, it sucks. And yes, I've absolutely considered quitting a couple of times. Like this March 2020, right as COVID hit, the channel did, like, I had my March of 2020 was the worst month that I'd had in like 2 years. I was like, okay, maybe the channel's dying. We're done. This is it. Pack it in, guys. Pack it in, team. YouTube's done. And I seriously considered calling it quits then, because like we were all kind of panicking on what was going to go on. Like, it's like, do I even have time to do this right now with the insanity? So I made the video about can you edit on the iPad Pro, and it did really well. It did better than any video I'd had in like 6 months. And so I was like, well, I guess this is opportunity knocking that maybe you should just keep going. So that's when we kind of made that little pivot of, we started talking more about the gear that I use besides the cameras. And so we went from being what I considered cameras for creatives to computers for creatives. And then, yeah, so since then it's been, obviously the best year ever. 2020 was the best analytical year ever. It's been really good. 51 Drones, hey, thanks so much. And Tech Gear Fun, thanks for joining us. Where are we at? I'm having I'm trying my best. I apologize if I'm skipping comments. Like, this new thing on the streaming is like jumping back and forth, so I do apologize. Daniel Rodriguez, when can we expect the 5 reasons to get married or not to get married? My number one reason is it's been great. Like, okay, so there's 3 things that I've really done in my life that have changed my like trajectory of my life for the better. Number 1 was meeting my wife, and I know because she's watching, I'm trying to score some brownie points right here, but seriously, when I met my girlfriend at the time, wife now, when I met her, I was playing like 18 hours of World of Warcraft a day. I was failing out of college, super out of shape. It's because that's what you were in school. I'm from a town that's like that big, like less than 1,000 people live there, or maybe 1,000 people live there now. But I was from a very small town. I just went to college to do it. I was spending my tuition money that I was supposed to be spending on like housing and things like that. I was spending it on like going out and partying and playing too many video games. But then I met her and she kind of straightened me out. And she, like, without her, you would not be looking at Gary. You would not be looking at me here. There would be a totally different person in this spot, and definitely would not have a YouTube channel. And then the second thing I did, what was the second thing I did? Because there were the 3 major ones. The second thing I did was getting my job right now, because I've enjoyed it very much. But then 3 was the YouTube channel. Like, the YouTube channel has changed a lot about not necessarily how it's made me a lot more responsible in, how do I put this? It was a really good idea. It's been phenomenal. So I'm kind of an introvert I'm not kind of, I am an introvert at heart. And YouTube has kind of like helped me get over that. Like I now, chat with people on Twitter. I chat with all you in the comments. I talk to more people a lot more, and I try to put myself out there more. And so those are the three things that have been phenomenal. But yeah, if it wasn't for Everyday Mom, there would not be anything. What's up, Flight Path? Thanks for joining us. Consistent walkthrough. Think they will do a A6400 Mark II or bring out the A7000? I have no idea what Sony's going to do. They keep releasing cameras all over the place. I've enjoyed I had one for a little bit. So here's my thing about Sony. I would love to get an A7S III. I bought two of them and then sold them both, because what I like is something like what we're doing here is I always have my camera plugged into a monitor so I can monitor everything. Redundant. But I liked having it plugged into a monitor, and I like being able to see all of the information. Sony cameras, at least the A7S III that I've seen, the FX9 didn't do it. I had the FX9 in for a little while. I do kind of miss that one, but the A7S III, it keeps in like, what, a 2:3 aspect ratio, so it kind of crops off the sides, and that just annoys me. I don't know why, but it really annoys me. Oscar Rodriguez, $5. Happy you didn't quit. Found you in March. Any videos made that you thought would flop but end up being great in views? Those always end up being the ones that do flop. So like my unboxing of the Asus G17 did terrible at the start, but then eventually it picked up steam because there's not very much out there. It depends. Sometimes YouTube can be weird when it just picks up a video out of nowhere and all of a sudden it's just like goes crazy. But I've never had like a viral video, which is something that I like, the slow, inexorable like growth over time. I've never really tried to be viral. Daniel Rodriguez, $4.99. Well, thank you so much. As they say, behind an everyday dad, there's an everyday family support. Absolutely. Without them, there is definitely no me. Like 100%. I am streaming on the M1 MacBook Pro 13 right now. Hold on, you just skipped again. Thoughts on running Mac Mini headless with iPad Pro for productivity? I saw somebody do that. I don't know that I would do that, but it sounded pretty cool. Ryan, is this YouTube channel my only source of income? Nope, this is a hobby of mine. How do I feel about the Apple Mag Wallet? I never got it because, like, I don't go anywhere, so what do I ever need a wallet? Happy did a review on the Razer Blade 15 because I bought one. The Razer Blade 15, I used that as my primary computer for a couple of months there before I ended up making this custom PC. Gigabyte did supply me all the pieces for this custom PC, but that was fun. Like, now that I've built two PCs, I would love to like make a channel about building PCs because it's so much fun to do, except when you got to plug in that, like the front header pieces where it's like the two little plugs that you got to guess, and then you got to look at the instructions for the motherboard, because I always do that one wrong. Coleman, I'm currently using the Lumix S5 right now. Kian, I hope you enjoy that iPad. Oh, goodness. Maybe do motorcycle vlogs? Nah, see, I used to do moto vlogs. Those are all hidden. I did moto vlogs, but I found out that like the motorcycle community, you either got to be like the person that gets a brand new motorcycle all the time. Like, I haven't watched a motorcycle video in a while. What was that guy's? I can see his logo. He's in Georgia because I was in Georgia at the time, but he gets like all the new motorcycles and goes on the first rides. Chase on two wheels. And he does that, or you got to do like crazy stuff on the moto vlog. So no, I don't know that I would ever do that. Will you get a super wide monitor? I have a super wide monitor right now. This is the LG. Somebody was literally just asking me this. It's a 34-inch ultra wide monitor. It's on my Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll be able to see it. It's pretty good. Hector, what other tech channels do I watch except Marquise Brownlee? I don't really watch other tech channels. One of the things that I'm always concerned about, and it's a policy of mine, is if I'm going to make a video about something, I don't watch anybody else's video on it before I make it. because I don't want to, you don't want to be influenced by somebody else's opinion, or you don't want to subconsciously take over their talking points. So I don't watch a lot of tech YouTube, honestly. I watch a lot of camera YouTube, though, because I love cameras. So hold on, where are we at? So we're at 8:50. We'll go for about 20 more minutes today because this has been an awful lot of fun. Would I recommend the Apple MacBook Air or the M1 Pro? It depends. It depends. They're both really good. Can you do a video on how to connect multiple external displays? I haven't done it, so it's hard to say. My favorite YouTube channel. I was just watching Red Letter Media is one of my favorites. They were one of the original ones that I've been watching before they were on YouTube. Who was I watching today that I just really enjoyed? It was a video. I was watching if it's about video game, like, I don't know why. I don't even play that many video games. But I'll watch video game analyses all day long. I love it. But who else was I? I was watching a video that I really enjoyed. But I guess if we're talking about YouTube videos that I watch, it's whatever really pops up in the feed. But I've met so many great creators on here. Like, we've seen Aldrin here. We've seen Russ from 51 Drones, Tech Gear Talk. All the people in here have been phenomenal. Like, one of the best parts about running a YouTube channel, it sucks in 2020 because you can't meet up with everybody, but it's just meeting all the other creators. I guess one of the canned questions I actually had was, is Gerald Dunn actually that tall? Yes, he is actually that tall. I'm short, so everybody's tall to me, but I thought that was funny. Do I spy a green chair in the background? You probably do. Right there. Right there's one of the green chairs. There's the other green chair. Bleh. Bleh. Hey, we did a live stream and I got to make fun of the green chairs at the same time. That's a win. Do you know Hoof-Hearted? I do not. Oh, you got me. John Wood, you got me. Good work, man. Kien, what's up to you? What I think the A1 and the Xperia Pro? I'm not a big fan. I use iPhones. If it's a phone and I don't really care about cell phones all that much. They're the same thing. It's the same thing that's been released like, ooh, sorry for that. Yeah, cell phones don't excite me all that much. But what was the A1? The A1 looks cool. Can you do weekly live streams? I don't know that we'll ever go back to doing weekly live streams because of that. Why would you have green chairs you don't like? Because they're not mine. They're my wife's that just happens to be in the house, that she makes us move with us from place to place. That's kind of an inside joke from our previous stuff. Luke Miani, one question came here to answer. How many cameras is too many cameras? There is no such thing as too many cameras, Luke Miani. Here, I'm going to type that to you in the chat also. There are not too many cameras. There you go. You can never have too many cameras. Actually, so if you're curious what cameras the Everyday Dad uses, what Gary uses, I use Lumix cameras for video. So I have this. The overhead shot that you generally will see is a Lumix G9, and then the S5 was the C cam. I think this is going to be the streaming camera now, and then the S1H will be the main cam, and then this will be the C cam. But for photos, if you follow me on Twitter, all the photos I take are on Nikon. So this is the Z5, and I've determined that you cannot take a bad picture with the Z5 and that 85mm 1.8 Nikon, the Z lens. I love Nikon cameras for stills. And I know that's like Nikon's the camera company that's probably most in trouble right now, but this is like a perfect photography camera. I love this thing so much. Wouldn't use it for video though. Where are we at? Yep, Death to the Green. I'm not a big fan of it. Sorry, I had the thing skip again. Looks like somebody got some Tech Gear Fun, had to delete some messages, which is fine. We do need to promote some more wrenches. That's what I used to call the moderators, the wrench crew. Emily, thank you for answering questions. Well, thank you so much for asking the question. Is the MacBook Air 2017 worth it? I would not buy an Intel-based MacBook Air at all. Like the 2020 was like the second you turned it on, it would start having thermal problems. CJ Unplugged, what's up, bro? Congrats on the 4 years of success. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, CJ. Hero is my favorite Honda NSR 250. I would like to get a Honda Grom, but I'm pretty sure my wife would not let me get another motorcycle. Even if I wanted to. Maybe we'll just do it. And then, like, how much trouble could I really get in? She's probably not watching anymore. Like, if I were to just go buy a motorcycle, like, I'd just be like, hey, no, it's always been there. It's just always been there, right? If you listen quietly, if she's still here, I'll hear her yell from upstairs. Mike, will I review cameras again? Probably not. Dental Digest, hello. Dental Digest, hello. Well, hello to you. Daniel Coate would love a video best setup for under 15. What kind of setup, though? Like a YouTube setup or a computer setup or which one? Manuel, found your videos about 6 months ago and loved it. And hi from Santiago, Querétaro, Mexico. Well, thank you so much. Am I on Ethernet and how fast is your internet? I am on Ethernet and it's abysmally slow for what I pay for. Grumpy about that, if we're being honest. Pay for the most, and it's not too much. Brad Fogel, $9.99. Man, Brad, you're crushing it today. If there's ever a YouTube museum, those green chairs should be your entry. Thanks for getting on tonight. I just heard my 8-year-old yell at me. Thanks, Brad. I really appreciate it. Hey, thank you so much. It's been fun. Videos make you seem like an Apple fanboy. I am an Apple fanboy because that's what works. Like, it's easy. It's fine if I'm considered a. I am an Apple. It's got to work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't get talked about. How's the autofocus on the S5? I love Lumix cameras, but I never use them in autofocus because their autofocus is not good. Or their continuous video autofocus, I should say. Sean, $1.99. Well, thank you so much. Favorite music album? Hamilton. Hamilton, easily my favorite. Easily my favorite. Karen, you remind me of my AP physics teacher. Well, hopefully that means I'm smart. I definitely was not an AP person. Definitely was not an AP person. All right. We'll go, 10 minutes. We got 10 more minutes. Taipan, what microphone do I use? Right now, this is the Audio-Technica AT875R, which is more of a budget option. I use this. The MKH416. Ridiculously expensive, but it just means that I never have to buy another microphone again, which is nice. Why don't you like the green chairs? It's a joke between my wife and I. Inside joke was funnier when we used to use them more often. I use lens converters between my cameras? I do not. Teacher Victor, can you compare smartphone cameras and dedicated DSLRs? Maybe. Maybe I'll do that in the future, but like I said, cell phones, they're fine. I like computers because now that I use computers more for like work and then for the channel, I've been using those more. So that's what, you got to be interested in what you're talking about. Cell phones, I do like the cell phones because we're going to do a follow-up to the 12 Pro this week. I think I am scheduled to do that video. But it's always from like a usability. How does it tie into like my overall ecosystem and not necessarily the camera by itself? Because I started out with an iPhone. What iPhone did I have? It was like the iPhone 6S. That was my camera when I first started out. So yes, you could easily use one. What's my most anticipated upcoming release? Oh, what am I most excited? I'm most excited about for the new Windows Ryzen laptops. Like I do have the Asus G17, which is a Ryzen, but it's a really big gaming laptop. I'd like to see the 15-inch and smaller ones with the Ryzen processors because I do think that's where, if Windows is going to do anything, Intel is kind of. So I would like to see more Ryzen stuff. That's what I'm most excited about. And then the new Apple laptops whenever they come out. Very excited about. We talked Sofa City returns. Yeah, probably. That's Sofa City is when you got to sleep on it. Sean, when are you and Jordan from DP Review going to throw down to determine once and for all whether 24 or 30 frames per second is the rightful king? I've actually run into Jordan a couple of times. He is, I wouldn't want to fight him. He's tall. Everybody's taller than me. Like I'm 5'6", so I wouldn't want to fight with anybody. I'm just a short guy. But he's a great. I love him and Chris were amazing to hang out with in New York City a couple of times. I think a couple of times. I can't remember. It might have been. It was either once or twice, but it was a great experience. They're awesome. I haven't met a YouTuber that I don't like. Great. Garance, $4. Congrats on 4 years. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Love from Brazil. Thank you. How old am I? I'm 37. I'm 37 or 38. I'm 37. See, it's once you get older, you stop paying attention and then you have to think about, I'm 37. I'm 37. Vigor, shout out from Brazil. I hate tech channels except for iPhonedo, Renee, Richie, and you. Well, thank you very much. I've met Farouk too. He's a great guy. He's also tall. Green chairs. Yep, nobody likes the green chairs. Can you where to talk? Let's start. We'll start wrapping it up a little bit. So thank you, everybody. Like, it's 4 years. I cannot believe that we've been doing this for 4 years now. It's been an incredible journey. Thanks to everybody that watches. It's just, again, this was one of the best decisions I've ever made, period. And it's been incredible seeing everybody come along with me. So thank you, everybody. I think we're going to end up turning off, so this will be unlisted after that. We'll see how the analytics do after live streaming, seeing how it worked out. But no, thanks to everybody. It's been phenomenal. I hope everybody has a great night, and maybe hopefully we won't have to wait another 4 years to do another live stream. So thanks, everybody. Had a blast. Thanks to everybody that did the super chats. And you guys have a great rest of your evening. And I think you end it by clicking here. Thanks for watching.